Well, hello to everybody here. It's Teresa Sanderson. As always, very excited to connect with you. Today, we're talking about one of the most frequently asked questions that I see bubbling up on the internet, and that is, can you start your own business as a nurse? So if you've had that question, this video is for you. And so as you pop in today, please feel free to say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. If you're catching me on the replay, comment #replay because I love to know that you stopped by. So can you start your own business as a nurse? I gotta be the first one to tell you, if you don't know, that yes, you absolutely can. And one of the coolest things that I think is an opportunity for nurses is that for a nurse to start his or her own business, no additional formal education or training is required. Yes, you heard me right. No additional formal education, certification, or training is typically required. Okay. So that being said, I'm talking about the kind of education that you would enroll in an institution like a university or a college, some facility or organization of higher learning, and you would enroll and take courses semesters at a time, yada, yada. So that is not required. LPNs are starting thriving businesses. I'm an associate degree RN, have a multiple six-figure business, have other friends who are associate degree RNs just like I am, who are working within their scope of practice and starting businesses. So all the way up to the level of course, nurse practitioner, RN, BSN nurse practitioner, doctorate level nurses, right, can start businesses. And even, I'll just add in there are many CNAs and home health aides, nursing assistants. Now, this is a little outside of the scope of nursing, who have also become successful entrepreneurs in the field of assisted living and other things like that. So what I want you to hear is, number one, yes, as a nurse, you can start a business. And the second thing I want you to hear is that no, you do not need to lay out any additional cash, time, or energy for more formal education, okay? Unless the business that you want to start requires that maybe you're able to prescribe, or that, you know what I mean, that you're able to diagnose. So if you need an additional level of education to work within safe scope of practice, then by all means, you would need additional education. But there are many businesses that nurses can start that they can use that don't require that and allow them to do what I call turn what you already know into income. So let's just look at a couple of those. Right now, IV hydration businesses are all the rage, and there's a lot of nurses getting into this space. And it's wonderful. Yes, there are some things they need to work around. I believe a medical director and other requirements. However, again, nurses who are trained in IV therapy, and that's typically RNs, BSNs on up, right, can start IV hydration businesses. So we just want to be clear on what you're doing, your scope of practice, and all of those kinds of things. So IV hydration, there are a lot of mobile IV hydration clinics that offer hydration at home. Many of them now are in med spas, which is another great place for them to partner with. And also you might find them in fun places like Las Vegas. I've seen them popping up all over the place where, you know, people might have a little too much to drink and then they need to get rehydrated, right? So lots of different ways to use and grow an IV hydration business. Another thing that you can do as a nurse is become a nursing continuing education provider. And this allows you to, again, turn what you already know into income by teaching your passion. And that is the zone I love to live in. That is the pond I swim in. And it's just a wonderful way to create income by helping other nurses, by handing down your years of experience, expertise, and passion for a particular specialty, okay? My particular specialty is, well, there's a couple. First is hospice and palliative care, and the other is nurse entrepreneurship. So I am able to teach and provide nursing continuing education in those areas that are really, really important to me, okay? Concierge nursing services. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine being able to pick and choose the patients that you're going to see as if you were going down the hall in the hospital and saying, I'll take this one, I'll take that one, I want to work with that one over there, right? Concierge nursing is really what that's all about. And it is increasing access to care and services, perhaps for people who do not qualify for Medicare home health or other skilled services. So imagine that as a nurse, you're able to go around and do assessments, intervene with the physician if and when needed, kind of as a case manager, and also fill med boxes and those types of things. So there's a lot of things that you can do on a fee-for-service type basis with concierge nursing. And again, having full control of what? Your schedule and the people you work with. Okay, so that's another great thing that nurses can do. Medical content writing. I know a lot of nurses who are getting into the space and using their clinical knowledge to be able to work for other organizations who need content for blogs or articles or research or whatever it may be. There are many nurses from the LPN level on up who are working in the medical content writing space. And that helps other people. It could be people like me who have another business and just need someone who can put together content that continues to be valuable to my audience or any other business's audience. Do you see what I mean? So lots of ways for nurses to support each other in the entrepreneurial space through content writing. And lastly, I'll just mention, and this is by no means an all-inclusive list of the types of businesses that nurses can start with the education and training that they already have. But last but not least, I will mention nurse consulting. All right. And so what are you a specialist in, right? What have you learned? Are you an ace on the cardiac unit? Maybe that's what you want to consult in. Are you an expert in long-term care and maybe writing corrective action plans or something like that, right? You can consult on that type of thing. Maybe you understand how to write contracts for bringing healthcare of sorts into organizations. You can consult on that type of thing. Maybe you're a grant writer and you've written for nursing grants. That is a consulting thing that is in high demand, a consulting thing, right? Love my lingo there. Sorry about that. But anyway, just want to let you know if you know how to do something very unique, consider me, right? I help nurses and organizations become continuing education providers. I help them establish themselves as an approved continuing education provider for nursing. I'm a consultant in that area. Okay. Does that make sense? So, lactation consultants, there's all kinds of things, right? So just think about it and don't box yourself in. So Christmas gift from me to you. Can you start your own business as a nurse? Absolutely. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And it doesn't require you to get any additional formal education or training to do that. Again, you want to be working within your scope of practice. And there are some additional skills that you would want to hone and develop along the way, right? So you want to be following your licensure and regulations. You want to be able to develop a business plan. You need to develop a vision for your business. Where do you want to start? Where do you want to end with this thing? What do you envision for yourself? I see a lot of people out there trying to start businesses. I'm going to try to do this, or I'm going to try to do that. Well, you either do it or you don't. Okay. So I encourage you, if you're going to be in for starting a business, just say, I'm starting a business. Okay. I'm doing this thing, right? But developing a business plan, managing the finances of your business, understanding how you can take a profit for yourself, grow your business safely by putting enough money in savings for taxes and other expenses, operational expenses that you may have along the way. Insurance, if it's required for what you do, you definitely want to be able to have that. And marketing and networking, that is definitely a skill that needs to be developed to run a successful business. But as far as additional clinical education, going back, maybe I'm an ADN or you're an ADN and you're saying, I really want to start a business, but I feel like I need to at least have my BSN so I can do it. Absolutely not true. Okay. What nurses need to start businesses, they already have the clinical savvy. They already have all the clinical expertise. What you need is business training. All right. And so I just want to make that really, really clear. That's a very different kind of training that you could get at a university. You can get started with coaching. So that being said, I hope you've enjoyed this video and that this content has been valuable for you. I sure have enjoyed bringing it to you. I want to invite you. I've got a really fun workshop coming up really soon. It's called the Business Care Plan Clinic for Nurse Entrepreneurs, where you can learn how to write use the nursing process to write your RX for success in business with me. So I hope you'll take a look at that. Click the link below this video. Get on the wait list now for that. It's going to be a 4-day deep dive into how we can use the nursing process to write your RX for success in business. Thanks for tuning in today, and I will see you again soon. Bye.